Welcome to System Shock 2. In this update, we will finish off the hydroponic deck by heading into Sector D and introducing Toxin A into the final environmental regulator. For some reason, I always had trouble finding out where Sector D was, but it turns out that all that you need to do is simply follow this one path right here. You're just gonna go into this one straight line, and you're gonna go where you need to go. All in all, the hydroponic deck is definitely easier than engineering was. I mean, it started with one pretty big section, but the other two sections that follow right after are really short, although they're a little bit trickier. But this won't apply for this one section that we're going into. And we have our first set of EMP grenades, and yeah, I'm finally showing off the results of my research for the egg organ. Basically, this bit of research teaches you that annelid eggs will contain useful items if you search them before you destroy them, and finally that annelids are all resistant to energy weapon. Also, you're being taught that these creatures can react to some psionic energies, as if something will be able to control them when needed. And yeah, in large numbers, worms can be very dangerous, but thankfully we have an ability which is called Pyrofield. Okay, so the last section of hydroponics may be really short, but it's no less unsettling. And we get a new implant. This one boosts your endurance by 1, which grants you more hit points.
I believe the plans the many have for me are greater than I even imagined. The change is upon me, but the path is more glorious than we imagined. It does not stop at a mere single mutation. The form I've been promised is more beautiful. They tell me I will float through the air and strike at the foes of our biomass with my mind. With our mind, my cup runneth over.
I really cannot imagine how rotten the climate on this ship has been, considering that the commanders of the mission, which is Korechkin and Diego, who is the captain of the ship that escorts the Von Braun, were both infected and mind-controlled by these horrible creatures. I mean, we saw some logs that showed that later on Diego manages to come to his senses, but what about Korechkin? Also, you really gotta hand it to the sound design team for knowing how to make the most creepy ambient noises imaginable.
I know what Miller's up to. This morning I saw Erin Bloom. She was tending to some kind of eggs, and she had been changed in the most horrible, unnatural fashion. I can only think the worst for the rest of my staff. That son of a bitch. That son of a bitch. He won't get away with this.
So how many of your staff needed to go missing before you noticed that something went wrong? 16? And in this small, ominous room, we have the best energy weapon of the game, the EMP rifle. Unfortunately, it's broken, but I'll talk a little bit more about it later. In the meantime, we also have what is possibly the best and the worst armor of the entire game. This is the powered armor. It offers more defense than any armor in the game, but it runs on energy and it uses a lot of it, so you always need to keep it charged, otherwise it won't protect you at all. But hey, I have Electron Cascade.
God, don't do it! Please don't!
Glory to the many. I am a voice in their choir.
Okay, I guess that answered my question about whether Korechkin or not is, well, you know, possibly beyond any kind of redemption, but I guess I was wrong. God, this ship is a shithole. I mean, I know that the guy is under alien influence or whatever those things are, but he still recorded himself in the process of shooting one of his crew members in the stomach repeatedly until he died. Oh no, you're not slaughtering me like the little worm into hydroponic, eh? But yeah, we're pretty much done exploring this place. This is the last room of Sector D of Hydroponics. It's a really short place, but you can be sure that they kept their worst surprises in the end. I really don't like what I'm hearing from the front, so I'm just gonna go here and make sure that I don't have to fight whatever's coming up. Also, in the last update, I managed to increase my psionic ability, and therefore you probably noticed that whenever I'm charging up an ability, the yellow portion of the bar which indicates that my ability will be stronger has gotten bigger as well. As you get better with Psi, it's much easier to overload your abilities without causing a short circuit in your brain. You might remember hearing that noise back when we were projected into the body of the mini. Yep, this is the new enemy of the game. We have to fight spiders! But at least the game is cutting you some slack because in order to start up things, you only have to deal with baby spiders. But don't worry, the adults are soon to follow.
Life grows within the womb of these walls. Life that has never seen the surface of the earth.
Alright, let's take care of that final environmental regulator.
At last. Readings indicate the elevator shaft is clear. Now get up to deck 4. I'll be waiting for you.
And just to strike further fear into you, well, we're not gonna meet a whole lot of baby spiders anymore in the game. In fact, the later one that we will see will be all fully grown and they will be much more threatening. So here we go, the elevator shaft is finally cleared up and we are ready to end things and go into the elevator and meet Dr. Polito. But first, we're gonna do something with the large beaker that we collected onto that other part of hydroponics. It's time to fill it up with some more worms that we're gonna use, well, for whatever reason that we need to use. And yeah, large beakers give you 8 worms. And the fun thing is you can use beakers on any single worm pile out there. You can use multiple beakers on the same pile and everything will be alright. We're gonna put a point in research, and before we close things up for good, we're gonna backtrack to Deck A in order to get those modules that I missed on the floor earlier. And with that said and done, we are finally ready to move on. There's no more obstructions in our way, and nothing is stopping us from going all the way up to Deck 4 in order to finally meet whoever guided us all this way along, and maybe she'll be a little bit less cranky? Well, I really hope so. So that's it for Hydroponics. Coming up next, we're gonna meet Dr. Polito.